Hey guys, have you ever wondered why it is that some photographers seem to get all the good weddings? You know, the ones with those amazing couples and those beautiful Pinterest-worthy details. And maybe you feel like, well, they're just on a different level than me. I'm not as good of a photographer.
We're not worthy!
And I want to tell you that that's not the case. I used to feel this way too, but there was something I did in my business that really helped me take my work to the next level, and you could do it too. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Styled shoots. Now, if you've never done one before, I know it can be a little bit overwhelming trying to find the time when you have all these other things that you have to prioritize in your business. Or where do you even start? And so that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm going to go over my planning process for styled shoots and also share a styled shoot checklist that I use on every styled shoot I put together. In future videos, we're going to even dive deeper, and I'm going to share a behind the scenes of an actual styled shoot. So subscribe for those, and for today's video, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Number one, start with intention. It's important to start every styled shoot with your end goal in mind. Is it building your portfolio, or trying out a new technique, or getting featured in a publication? Whatever your goal is, and maybe it's a few of these, be specific about it so that you know exactly what this shoot is about. If it's about building your portfolio, what sort of images do you want to create and walk away with? And what sort of work will they help you book? If you're aiming to get featured in a publication, what's the publication? Be intentional. Don't just shoot and pray that it'll end up somewhere. Know the place, read their submission guidelines, look over their images of other shoots that they've featured, so that when you're capturing your images, you can do it in a way that will cater to that publication, that blog, that magazine, and up your likelihood of getting featured there. Your end goal is going to have a huge influence over your entire shoot. That's why it's really important to start with the step and not skip it. Number two, level of involvement. When doing styled shoots, there's often two levels of involvement. One where you're just shooting, and two where you're actively involved in the planning and design of the shoot. Oftentimes, when you're putting together a styled shoot, you're acting as the creative art director for that shoot, coming up with a vision and kind of pitching them to the whole team. The other option is where you kind of take more of a back seat, and the vision is coming from the planner, and you're more just there to capture the details in the pictures. This case can sometimes be beneficial. For instance, if your end goal is to network and you're building relationships with people that you haven't had a chance to work yet with before. Or if you just really love the vision that that planner has and it fits perfectly in line with your end goals and the direction you're going for with your photography. Or you'll work together with the planner and kind of come up with ideas together to share that role. And that's always my favorite. Number three, the creative process. So now we're going to kind of dive into my favorite part, and that's the creative process. And I have a few things that will help you to kind of hone your vision and come up with ideas when trying to figure out the direction of your styled shoot. First up is brainstorming, and the best way to brainstorm is over cocktails. Usually with brainstorming, I like to take an anything goes approach and kind of lay it all on the table, collect lots of different inspiration, and really have an open mind. Inspiration can be found anywhere. It can be found through images, music, movies, poetry. You just really got to get creative, and you can find inspiration through anything. Also, another great technique is taking two different concepts or ideas and merging them together to form something that's really unique. And I find that some of the best ideas come from this. Next is story. And I like to put together a little story for the shoot. And this can be kept super simple, doesn't need to be anything complicated. The whole idea is to add depth to the shoot and get the team something to revolve around. It also helps the model by giving them something to help get into character and really set the tone and vibe and mood for the shoot. And this all leads to the mood board. And a mood board isn't meant to be a shot list for the shoot, but rather is something to share the mood and color palette and kind of set the tone for the entire shoot. I'll set this up in Photoshop, pulling images and putting it together, and then I'll share it with the different collaborators so that everybody can take it and pull their inspiration from it. That way they can do their own thing, but everything will be inspired from that mood board so that it comes together in a really cohesive way. Number 4, collaborators. Now that you've figured out your vision and mood board for the shoot, it's time to talk collaborators. The shoot could be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. This could mean just you, a model, a hair and makeup artist, and a cool fashion or dress. Or this could be a full-blown styled shoot with the works. Planner, cake, floral, invitation designer, and all those little pieces that will make it really stand out. Now, when working with a planner, I'll usually bring them on pretty early on in the process, or we might even do the brainstorming together since they are very involved in the design process. Usually, we'll kind of split up our tasks. I might take hair and makeup, finding the model, the stylist, or dress, and they'll take on some of the other elements of the design process. But it really depends on the individual shoot, kind of how you split things up and how you arrange things. When choosing a team, it's important that everybody involved share similar goals. Since everybody is going to be putting a lot of time into this and trading their time for free, it needs to be a mutually beneficial thing. And it's also important that you provide high-resolution images to all these vendors that have poured their love into the shoot, so that they can also use these photos in their own portfolios. One of your most important collaborators is going to be your models, and finding the model with the right look and personality for your shoot is key, because it will have such a big impact on the images. Do you want somebody that is innocent, or kind of playful and carefree, or maybe sultry or mysterious? Whatever the look you're going for, it's worth taking the time to find the right model. But where do you find models? By models, I don't always mean agency signed. Sometimes I go with agency models if I'm going for a really particular look, but I also find real couples. I do this through Facebook ads, especially when traveling new locations. There's also Model Mayhem, which is a great source for both aspiring and established models, and also using just friends that you know. If you're just getting started and you have good-looking friends, use them. The key here is to not let anything hold you up, but I also think it's worth investing the time to find somebody good, because it will make a huge difference in the end images. Number 5, location, location, location. Now, location is really important because it will often influence the styling of your shoot. So I might even start with this pretty early on in the process during the brainstorm or kind of the mood boarding. And even if I don't know the exact location at that time, I might just kind of have a rough idea of where I want, or maybe a couple specific places in mind. And then a little bit down the line, after we have our collaborators, we can kind of nail down that exact location and a time and date that works great for everybody. So there you have it. There's all the key components of putting together an amazing styled shoot. You're gonna start with your intention, decide on your level of involvement, and then dive into the creative process with brainstorming and story and mood boards. And then you're gonna bring together fantastic collaborators and find your models and that perfect location. Set a date on the calendar, go out and make it happen. And to help you out, I'm sharing my styled shoot checklist that I use for every shoot I put together. So grab that below, like and subscribe. If there's anything that you guys would like to hear more on, drop it in the comments and I'd love to help. See you guys next video. Wave, Billy, wave.
High five.
It was really cute.
Wave.